This video is on programming a ubiquiti antenna to be a station. In other words, on a building that's out away from the main server. This is assuming that you've already installed Java on the computer that you're using and that you have the ubiquiti discovery tool ready to open. Now I've already plugged the antenna into the network, so what I'm going to do is hit the ubiquiti discovery tool, double click it, it pops up, and as you can see we have one antenna on the network. The IP address for this antenna is 192.168.1.20. That is the default IP address that comes up on an antenna when you first plug it into the network. So to open the antenna, we're going to double click on the IP address, then a second window pops up. You want to click on the one that says 192.168.1.20, highlight it, and then click Web UI. That's going to bring up a web page that will let us dial into the antenna. Depending on which browser you're using, sometimes you'll get a security warning. This is okay. Just click continue to this website, not recommended, and it will allow you to go on to the login screen for the antenna. So when it's first plugged in, and for these purposes we're going to use the default username and password, which is ubiquiti tab ubiquiti. You want to make sure that the language is English, and you have to click I agree to these terms of use or it won't let you log in. Once you've done all that, click login and it will allow you to log into the antenna. As it stands on the top right, you can see there's no information here, and that's because it's not actually wirelessly connected to any other antennas yet. On this first page, the things that you need to pay attention to are right here where it says wireless mode station. We want this one to be a station. All antennas, when you first plug them in, come up as station. There's really only two tabs that you ever use to program the antennas. The first is the wireless tab up here. Now right here is where you select in this drop down box whether you want it to be a station or an AP. Since this is going on a building that is away from the building we have the computer at, then it's going to be a station. The next thing you want to check is right here where it says channel width. This one's set on 3 megahertz. For these purposes we're going to put it on 20 megahertz. Anytime you change something in an antenna, it's very important that you click change, then you click apply. If you don't click both of those, it won't save the settings. So now that we've adjusted those to station and 20 megahertz, that we're going to click network, when this comes up, this down here where it says management network settings is where you're going to change the IP address of the antenna. So for our purposes we're going to make it 192.168.1.90. Subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. The gateway IP is going to be 192.168.1.1, and the DNS is also going to be 192.168.1.1. Now that we've changed those settings, we're going to hit change, and then we're going to hit apply. once it applies the settings, it has to reboot the antenna. This can take a second sometimes to be accomplished. But at this point, you have programmed all the settings that you need for it to be able to be a station or a transmitter. Now you can hit continue to this website again. It's going to ask you to log in again because now you have a new IP address up here. See, it says 192.168.1.90. So the same thing, you hit UBNT, tab, UBNT, enter. Now this antenna is properly programmed and it's ready to be put on the remote building.